Hi, this is Joshua Gordon. Today we're interviewing.
I'm Emma Landry. I'm 24 and I'm a cancer survivor.
Hi, Emma. So, what kind of cancer did you have?
Papillary thyroid carcinoma. It's thyroid cancer.
Okay. And what was the first symptom? How did you know?
I was driving home from the thrift store one day and I was just getting over a sinus infection. So I was really swollen in my neck, and so I was just kind of feeling like my glands and stuff, and I noticed a abnormal lump on the right side of my throat that made me start to question if there was something wrong with my thyroid.
Sure, but was it your first thought cancer, or was your first thought maybe just something? It could be anything.
It could be anything.
Okay.
I mean, with your thyroid, there's a lot of different things that can go wrong, and having an inflamed thyroid is a pretty common problem.
And how old were you?
I was 22.
It's pretty young.
Yep.
Yeah. So what was the first steps? Where would you really?
So I asked my doctor about what I should do, and he told me to come in, and they did an ultrasound, and they did find a small mass in the right side of my thyroid, and they did some blood work, and initially I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroid disease, which goes along with celiac disease, and I have celiac, and so he wasn't really surprised that the Hashimoto's had come up, and they put me on a special medication and just said, you know, you're gonna be fine. And he ordered a biopsy just to be safe. And so I went in, and they literally stabbed me with probably 7 needles.
Did they numb the site down?
A little bit.
Okay.
And they taped it up, and they took needles, and they would, stick the needle in there, and then they jiggle it up and down to mix the cells up and collect them so that they could test them and make sure that they got a proper sample. And I was diagnosed on May 29th of 2018. I got a call from my doctor, and he said it was cancer.
So what were the first steps after it was confirmed cancer? Did you start radiation the next day?
No, I at first went and saw an ear, nose, and throat doctor who told me I needed to have a full thyroidectomy and they need to remove the tumor. And so a couple weeks later, it was June, I think it was like the 17th, I had surgery and they removed my entire thyroid and the tumor.
What was the recovery like from the surgery?
It was rough. Of course, getting cut open is never fun.
Of course.
And it was super painful afterwards. I was on some pretty high painkillers, which made me super itchy because I guess I had a kind of an allergic reaction to them. So I was just super itchy and in pain. And I couldn't sleep unless I had like an ice pack on it, and so I was constantly changing ice packs.
With the throat being so close, with the surgery being so close to your throat, were you able to eat?
Yeah, I was able to eat. Swallowing felt really strange, just because they did remove an organ from right here at the base of my throat, and so it did feel really strange, and the whole area was just completely numb for a really long time. I had to sit here and poke myself, and I couldn't feel it because the skin had to reattach.
Wow. Any kind of physical therapy go apart with that?
No.
No,
there's no physical therapy that they do for that. It's just kind of something you have to get used to, and it heals over time.
So this is back in 2017 and 18. How's it affected your life since then?
I mean, I have a cool scar, and people ask me about it pretty frequently. I like to make up funny stories about it. My kids at first thought that I was attacked by a bear. And I've had to correct that because they became very afraid of bears.
It's a pretty cool story, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any tips for anyone else that you would give out? Any advice?
I mean, just check yourself, be aware of your body, and I mean, if you do notice something, make sure you go and get it checked out just to be safe, because you never know. I mean, I was 22, I did not expect to get cancer.
No.
And
no, of course not.
Then I did.
Wow. It's a good story. I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Hopefully everything turns out for the best. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.